What's going on, Illumineers, and welcome back to the Madhouse. And today we're doing something a little bit different. Instead of my green purple guide, where I did the whole PowerPoint thing, I just decided to do a red purple matchup walkthrough. So, what you're going to see when we get into it is a matchup I had against a very spicy red purple list. And you're going to see one of the games where I was on the draw. Let me know what you think about it. Do you prefer something a little bit more in depth where we do the PowerPoint, where we walk through a bunch of the mulligans? Or does this walkthrough kind of answer a lot of the questions? I know people wanted to see more live mulligans, so maybe I can do this and then also pull up some ink decks and just walk through some mulligans in there live. But still trying to find things that people like, still trying to find things. So let me know in the comments, let me know in the Discord if you guys liked this style. But talking about the list, this is, I believe it's the exact list that Chris ran for the EU. I think this was the last night of testing. I helped him with it, and it's a good list. It's a great list into all of these purple steel, these green purple, the mirrors. Just a really good list into anything that can't straight up take out Aerial Sonic Warrior. I will caution you, Sonic Warrior does open up a really big go-go turn for your opponent. So if you are playing green purple, it's getting later in the match, they have a goat down, maybe you don't do anything with Sonic Warrior unless you absolutely have to. And that's something to watch out for. But a really good list that I think you can do really well with into most metas that aren't playing red. But yeah, it's just doing a lot of things that Steel Song wants to do. You know, you get your curve. I've done a couple things since doing this video, and I'll make another video on where I'm at right now with my list, but a very effective list that continues to do well. And yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let me know in the comments if you like this style or what I can do differently for the next one. Maybe more mulligan. That seems to be the thing that people want more than anything else. Let me know. All right, enjoy the video, guys, and I will see you around. All right, so let's talk gameplay. On last Friday night, we had a good Friday night Lorcana at Safari Zone Collectibles, and I got the privilege to play one of my buddies here, piloting some Ruby Amethyst with some pretty spicy stuff. And I don't want to spoil it, but this is game 2. I'm on the draw, playing a more traditional Steel Song list. And this one I did have the Sonic Warriors that I was helping Chris test for EU. But let's talk mulligans here. We'll back it up just a smidge so we can see that. And looking at this hand, we're not too upset with it because looking at it, we immediately have a 1-drop, a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and a 4-drop. And we have a really good curve at that because the baby Robin Hood of the shift lines is the shift line that we want to see. We'd rather see the 1-drop over the 5-drop in this case because we don't have another 1-drop. So this just guarantees that we have that one. And then we see the Smee and the Rapunzel, and we're really happy with that because Smee represents this phenomenal turn 3 opportunity because you play him on 2 and then you get to quest with him, and then your opponent has to decide, are they going to let you have the draw off of Rapunzel, which is only 1 card, but it's still 1 card, and you now have a 1/5/2 body on board and a Smee that is only going to take 1 damage at the end of that turn. So they have to decide, do I trade into this Smee? And in that case, we're winning because we not only got to quest for 2, but anything that red purple quests into this on turn 3 is going to be banished for that. So they play the crab on a 1-drop, they bounce a fox, they attack it with the snake. Whatever they decide to do, we win out of that opportunity because we quested for 2, they lost a body. And purple never wants to start losing bodies because that's what they get to do. They leave bodies on the ground, control it, because B prep is an awesome card, but they would rather not have to play it because that represents their entire turn. So looking at it, we have a great 1-drop, a great 2-drop. Then we have 2 aerials. Then this is the question I posed to you guys. Do you guys keep the 2 aerials or do you only take 1? And when we go forward here, you'll see what I ended up doing. The Zeus and the Pete we get rid of. Now, there would be an argument that if you had a 2-drop Ursula in hand, you could keep the Zeus. Because then that Ursula can answer anything that they're going to play, especially the hand Suzu on turn 3. So there is an argument to keep Zeus if you wanted to. But I end up throwing back an Ariel, I end up throwing back a Pete, and I end up throwing back a Zeus. And I threw back the Ariel because the one Ariel is going to represent enough. I don't currently have anything that the Ariel feeds as far as an Ursula or Cindy on turn 1. So I'm really just keeping one Ariel. If they brawl it, cool. It is what it is. But it leaves my little Robin Hood alive. So if I draw into the shift, that's awesome. But there is a good argument if you wanted to keep both and try and dig for that whole new world. But looks like we're about to start. So we'll kind of leave the commentary going for a little bit and let you guys kind of watch until I pause it again.
I already lost. This man children.
He's playing a red blue into an aggro purple steel next to me. Did not go well.
Play Robin Hood pass.
You're talking about green purple. He plays green purple.
Yeah.
Whoever pays that, then that.
All right.
That was in the second game.
Okay. So
But I didn't
we'll go ahead and just turn it down. And no, we'll do this. We'll mute it. So, and talk about this for a second. I'm taking my time here because I have an interesting opportunity here, and we'll pause it before it goes. So, I have a Smee and an Ursula in hand. So, what I'm trying to figure out right now is which one of those I'm going to ink and which one of those I'm going to play. Because there's 2 lines that I can go for here. Line A is that I can play the Smee and then go for the Rapunzel heal on turn 4. To go that route, it means the Smee has to live. But again, what I mentioned earlier is it means I get that excellent trade opportunity from Smee. The other line, which is the safer line, it's just the slower line, is I go the Ursula into the Ariel. And where I already have the strength of a Raging Fire, that means my Ursula is already controlling the board. Now, if I get something off of Ariel, she's controlling the board even more. So why not ink the Lilo, though? So the reason I don't want to ink the Lilo and why I'd rather ink Ursula or Smee is because I'm going against red-purple. And Lilo is one of those cards that is really good against red because one of their answers is Be Prep. So now if they play Be Prepared, I immediately get to bring back a Lilo plus anything that's in my hand, if there's multiple Lilos. So it's kind of acting like a bad flute in that sense, that quest for 2 if they don't answer it. And if I play 2, then that means unless they have 2 brawls in hand, they can only answer 1 Lilo. So I'm gaining that 2 lore. And by the time red purple plays Be Prepared, you should already be up there in lore, so that the 2 lore represents a lot. So it makes everything really difficult for them. But looking at this, we will go ahead and unmute it and kind of watch along.
Yeah. Well, if they don't develop and don't draw cards, they can remove your cards one at a time with the right combos, and then you're both top decking.
Yeah. And I'm fine with top decking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go Smee for Ursula.
So we go the control route. Now, I didn't quest there, and I could have, and gotten the 1 lore. But the reason I didn't is that I didn't want them to trade Fox into it for a special trade. And I didn't want to lose the Robin Hood just in case they wanted to quest into Chernobygs. So I decided not to. Mostly because I didn't want that bad trade with Fox.
Is this the second game?
Yeah.
Nice. Who won first?
Ink Ursula, I did. All he drew was removal, so yeah.
Oh my god.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Take like the Storm Rage on.
And here I got rewarded for going the Ursula route. And that's why I ended up going that way, because it, like I said, you get to just control the board and start questing. So like here, I can quest with that Robin Hood relatively safe, because now they have to play a 1-drop and a fox to punish it. So it's just I'm in a safe place right now that I can start questing with things. So let's see. It plays the castle, and
The race has begun.
I unmuted it for that. The race has begun. And what I mean by that is a lot of the time you don't want to spend the turn taking out the castle. Like, you need to have very specific things in hand. So maybe if you had a Lawrence in hand, or on the field, you could hit into that. But when you do that, you're losing 2 lore. And on top of that, Lawrence doesn't clear on its own. So if you're doing a Lawrence and a Smee, you're losing 4 lore. So that means they're winning in that altercation, because you that are an aggro deck just lost 4 lore to take out a castle, and he's now 1 turn closer to be prepared. So keep that in mind, and you'll see that I opt to just quest for 2, 3, and then I do turn the aerial. At this point, I'm trying to bait them into doing like a fox or a Maui, and then that way I can try and get some kind of Rapunzel heal. If they don't, one thing I can do is just strength my own character and then Rapunzel, and that is a good option as well, just to get 3 off of that. And it's a safe option too, something I don't think I was thinking about at the time, but something that I do very often, of just shooting my own characters if I need to.
He figured out what he's going to do for that. I think if he just put, like, maybe felt on the bottom, that'd be enough. So.
Oh, we're talking about improving the lore counter here.
What is that, 5?
Yeah,
okay.
4, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like, couldn't remember if I inked or not. I was pretty sure I didn't.
Just counting the B prep, that's all.
Still
We love be prepared.
Yep. We'll go to Lilo. We'll sing.
All right. So this is something that I decided to do. I knew that at this point that castle was going to start gaining him a lot of lore, and I knew that B prep was coming. And by doing that play, I only lost 2 lore compared to questing or challenging into it with 2 characters. So then 2 characters being Lawrence and Smee, or a Robin Hood and Lawrence, or 2 Lawrences, whatever, 7 damage worth of character. Where with Zeus, I can just take in 2. They only quest for 1 each, so I felt much better about going that route. Now here, one thing that I did expect was a fox coming down, and I was hoping to see a fox because I had Rapunzel in hand, so I had the opportunity to get a really good Rapunzel heal and draw. But let's see what happens.
Yep. Fox, yep. Yep.
I was so confused when he did this, and then we see the spice.
Another fox? No? Oh, nice.
So he plays the spice, this gruesome card and Prince Eric. And I'll put this gruesome card up on the screen, but I never seen it before. I've never seen anyone play it. I don't know if it was ever popular back in the day, but essentially that card lets you play a card, I guess, and they play Prince Eric. So Prince Eric now has Rush. He can challenge into something, and then he's banished at the end of your turn. So you can potentially remove 2 things, or he can simply just remove Robin Hood, which you're about to see.
Will hit Ariel for 2 and
Yep.
vanish. Well, she's just alive.
Yep, only hits Ariel for 2, which, I was sad to lose the Robin Hood and the Ursula. I did not expect that, but it still lets me do the Rapunzel, which was my goal for that turn, or this turn anyways. So I still get my Rapunzel, and I'm not super upset. And I also get to remove their fox. So overall, it's a pretty good turn.
That was a phenomenal turn. So
That was an annoying turn.
Prevents a lot.
He got me with that spice last game too.
For the steel song, I was like building by myself. I put him in there.
we'll take out Fox. Quest for 2. Ink Robin Hood.
Now, I did ink the Robin Hood there, and I don't think I needed to. With Steel Song, you don't have to get to high amounts of ink. You don't have to be inking every turn. He's going to ink 7. I think that was ink 5 for me. Ultimately, I didn't have to because that meant that next turn I could have gone double Lilo and then ink something else and lay down a Robin Hood, which that lets me do all kinds of things. It represents 5 lore on board, really protects things from Tremaine, whatever it may be. So it also sets up a Robin Hood shift. But you see the B prep there, and you're about to see my Lilo babies do her thing.
We'll go 2 for Lilo.
Bam.
I'll draw.
And there's my wheel. So here, I almost played the aerial, or I almost played another
We'll go
Lilo.
3 for
And I decided to go the route of the aerial because I'm hoping that it lives, and I'm hoping that I get to sing A Whole New World. It's a little bit risky, but at the same time, I don't really have anything anyways. So what I can do here is I can just, if they do pop my aerial, then I can just hardcast the Whole New World. And where I'm at, it looks like 9 or 10 lore. I'm not too upset about going that route either. Especially because I'll have 2 Lilos in the graveyard as well. So, and yeah, here comes A Whole New World. I'm a new fan now. I did mess up last turn.
5 strength.
I
Yeah, 5
meant
strength.
I meant to ink the World's Greatest Criminal Mind and just forgot. So that was a mess up on my hand, especially because I saw the Whole New World already in my hand. So I wanted to ink the World's Greatest Criminal Mind, and then this turn ink whatever I drew. So I could have inked the Strength, and I'd just have extra ink, you know. But that's okay.
We'll go Whole New World.
And took his B prep, and that feels good.
But that's the reason I took it. So because it's inkable. So
Here we were talking. They thought it was curious. I took the World's Greatest Criminal Mind, so, and I only took it because of the ink. I just wanted an inkable card. The dreaded Pete wheel.
It's mildly annoying right now.
go ahead.
I saw what you're about to do.
Yeah, that Prince Eric though.
Prince Eric, I hate that card
Yeah.
so much. He's a quarter character card, and he's
Yeah.
just one of the most annoying things to go around.
Yeah, so it is a bummer because he can trade. He can do 2 in aerial and then take out my Lawrence, which is the play.
Action at all.
Correct. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that card is really good against this deck. Well, in that case, I think we'll.
Medusa or Maui.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll go.
The goat.
And then we'll do.
I don't think I moved his lore here.
We'll take out Lilo.
Okay.
We'll go. Take out Ariel.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I missed the lore. So that was a pretty good turn for him. So, we still have 3. We decided to go the
4.
double.
Forgot I was like, I thought that was the same one that I killed earlier. No, it's definitely not.
Yeah, I discarded one on a Whole New World. So
So at this point, my board's getting pretty wide. Now, I'm going to quest right with the Pete and with the Lawrence. They both trade very well. And one of the things he has to look at here is the fact that I now have all these characters down, and he's put in a position where he kind of has to B prep. Like, he's running out of options. And again, we don't mind them B prepping because we have those 2 Lilos. And here I'm wondering, do I take out his stuff? Do I take out his stuff or do I just quest? I ended up taking out the Fox because I don't want Fox bounce shenanigans or snake bounce shenanigans, and I take out the Fox to get rid of it. Quest with Lawrence because it trades into pretty much anything, and we're sitting really, really happy right now. It's essentially B prep. He has to start clearing stuff. I think that's 12 probably. So 20, 19, 18, so somewhere around 12-ish right there. So
Let's go ahead and hit him and
Yep.
draw a card.
good move there. I love that play with Diablo just to get a draw. Love seeing that.
I'm not gonna hit him.
Yep.
Yep, else is good.
We'll take out one.
Yep.
Let's take out Lawrence.
Okay. Then Goat will die. Do you still want to do
Goat
that?
will
because
be
he's a 4/4?
banished.
Okay.
Goat will be banished.
Yep.
And I think he should be up 1 lore. I think we missed it off with him playing the Goat. Prince
Frickin'
Eric.
Prince Eric. Okay.
What about Lilo?
I know. We'll bring back Lilo.
We love Lilo.
Draw.
I know. Proposers.
I know. Maybe we should just switch to Star Wars Unlimited.
I'm good with not doing that. What? I'm good with not doing that.
That sounds awful.
I'm
Connor's
not.
getting ready to get to boot.
We'll quest for 4.
Has this been happening a lot? Less and less.
Yeah.
Can't do no better than free. I don't blame you. Yeah. No,
Angel does kill it. Lorcana is free on Fridays. So
Like, and I can't get on the pound.
Go 1 here.
I'm about to go to where you can't play in the store championships unless you've played an X amount of events leading
bam.
up to it.
Invite only,
I mean,
baby.
That's what
I've been here.
crap. What does the 2 portals does? So
Always in here, but I'm kind of in here, you know.
You had to be there at least once.
twice, yeah. I'll ink Big Cindy and
You can't
pass.
show up to X% of the Friday night events, and you can't play state. You can't play in championship.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know if I needed to ink Cindy there. Again, it represents something. I don't know if they're running the Tremaines in there. So if he did clear my board, then I could have gone Big Cindy by herself. So there was an opportunity there. I don't know what's in my hand. Maybe I just felt like I needed the ink so I could go double Lilo next turn and play what's in my hand. But I don't. Oh, Teeth and Ambition. And he just clears the board just like that. Prince Eric's just doing work. And then Teeth and Ambition's there as well. Notice how I'm always remembering the Lilos. I just automatically put it on top of my deck. I always look at it. The moment one goes in my discard now, I'm taking my time. I'm looking, I'm thinking, and see, you saw it there. And I decide, stop. So because when it's on my discard, I put my discard underneath my deck like that, like most people do, but I always see my Lilos. So here we're wide. Rabbit can go into Lilo, but that still leaves a Lawrence and a Lilo, so he needs something else to trade into that Lilo. And then I have a whole new world to also go wide if I wanted to. We'll go ahead and unmute.
There's Elsa, but that's still not going to hit. I mean, that'll go.
Because I can only go to 19, so.
Well, Merlin will kill one.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plus 5.
No,
Ooh.
I don't ever get a day off to myself. I truly don't.
Isn't that the truth?
Last week,
That's called being married, and for him, being married and
Oh,
when you go, so like one storm
I forgot to do it. I went too fast.
there we go. I was just talking about it.
yeah.
See, like I
In
think.
that case,
See, I think my only route I can go to just really make sure I get it is I need to start saying ready, set, Lilo, draw. Like, and that's just it. That's the only thing I can do because I have a habit of playing really fast. And you've seen this game. I'm trying to do better at that. I'm trying to be slower, but Lilo, I just forget that it's there sometimes, even when I'm putting it on top of my discard like that. So maybe the way forward is ready, set, Lilo, draw, and say it out loud and protect myself.
get to bring 2 back, and unless you have a Maui like an automatic answer, I'm questing for 4 and.
Quest for 1.
Yep.
Go 2.
Plays the fox. He needed B prep there.
That's not an answer.
Nothing.
Not enough to.
Ooh, there's the Maui.
the shark head out, but he had to keep answering for everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotten it out. I could have easily swung it into a Lilo and pulling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there we go. When you're doing it, when you're playing this matchup, it's like we talked about. You're looking to bait their B preps. You're looking to bait and set up Rapunzels. But the biggest thing is how can you set up for them to B prep and for you to be rewarded by them B prepping your board. And that's what you're trying to figure out. And it's making it just wide enough where they just can't afford to take all of that lore. So with that, we'll go ahead and cut out the video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it and stick around. We'll probably do purple steel next because some people have been asking for it. Some people have been having a hard time with the matchup. And it did do well at the EU Championship. So I imagine we're going to continue seeing it. But ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay happy and healthy, and I will see you around. Keep singing. It's all going to be all right.